Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, if you are Tees and Tells, you are here to say, I told you so. Y'all, remember a couple weeks ago when there were rumors going around about me that I done this, I can pay it off, all because I said, y'all, Tony Buzbee is moving real reckless. And if he doesn't resolve, he's going to have to withdraw from all 22 cases that he had, okay? Now, spoiler alert, this don't change ish for Diddy because what I said had to happen actually happened. Tony Buzbee has done the right thing. He is still locked in a death battle with Jay-Z, but when it comes to the Diddy victims, these cases will move forward and they are safe. Tony Buzbee has done the honorable thing and removed himself. Now, what's going on? A couple of weeks ago, that whole thing with Tony Buzbee and Pro Hoc VC, and people are like, oh my God, you don't know what you're talking about, legal stuff. Pro Hoc VC just means he applies. And I said, I know, but you guys, I know everybody's mad at me, but that just means that when he withdraws, right? It means that he has to apply individually. Pro Hoc VC is not guaranteed. That's why people don't like doing it. And judges can tell you no just because they don't like what color shoes you have on. A good way of telling them no is if you made a bunch of not frivolous lawsuits, but you made a bunch of entries knowing you're a seasoned attorney that you couldn't do that and you did it over and over again. Now, Tony Buzbee has now confirmed he has withdrawn from all the cases. Diddy was hoping that when Tony Buzbee withdrew, that he would take the cases with him. However, Tony Buzbee said, no, you ain't getting off that quick. You guys, let's get into this because this is great news for the victims. I've always said Diddy's not a billionaire anymore. Jay-Z and Buzbee are both billionaires and very, very wealthy in their own right. Baby, all we care about is the victims get justice. And the people that want to be fan clubs for Tony Buzbee, the people that want to be fan clubs for Jay-Z, the people that want to be fan clubs for Diddy, go over there, baby. We are talking about actual real world reality facts of what's going on and who's up and who's down. All right. So what actually happened? Tony Buzbee filed a bunch of lawsuits as the lead lawyer. Okay. He filed them in the Southern District of New York. He was not authorized to practice in Southern District of New York. The Southern District of New York said he is restricted from making entries for the future time being. A lot of people were confused at that. What is it? Let me just take this through to you guys real quick, right? You can apply for admission. It's reciprocal admission. You apply and you can make entries as if you are licensed in the Southern District of New York. It's like getting a guest pass, right? It's like getting a year membership. Don't matter. You can come as much as you want. You got a year membership. Pro Hoc VC is kind of like a day pass, but each time you have to go to the manager and be like, may I please come? And the manager can tell you no for any reason. He was denied the yearly membership. And they said for the foreseeable future, you will never get admitted because he did things wrong. As much as we get mad at the law, it is a series of rules that need to be followed. If you don't agree with that, well, then you're not a lawyer because all lawyers, that's what you're paying the lawyer that's what you're paying the lawyer for, to know how things go. There were 22 open Diddy cases. Tony Buzbee, I said it, everybody got mad. He was expected to withdraw. My concern was that he would not put his ego aside and he would not leave those cases with lawyers and law firms that could actually move it forward. It seems like the reason why Tony Buzbee did not withdraw 2 weeks ago, even though he knew he had to, because anybody that is an actual lawyer or knows anything about the law or talks to lawyers knows that he couldn't stay on those cases, okay? And it didn't have nothing to do with no wet signature. Anyway, right? At the end of the day, Tony Buzbee stayed on those cases because he was reaching out to other law firms and giving clients a chance to figure out what they wanted to do. Well, today is Judgment Day, and they said that Tony Buzbee, Diddy's arch nemesis, is withdrawing himself from more than a dozen SMEX trafficking lawsuits filed against Diddy in New York federal court. Now, we hope these lawsuits will proceed. When he removed himself, there were other lawyers listed that could actually practice in New York. We are going to keep an eye on them and make sure the cases aren't dismissed. However, what does it mean when you say Tony Buzbee withdrew? It means that he cannot work on the case in any substantive way. He can maybe offer advice, but he cannot help investigate. He cannot talk about the cases. He basically can only operate maybe from the point of being an actual advisor. According to the new legal docs obtained by TMZ, Buzbee is moving to withdraw as representing attorney in 15 cases filed in the Southern District of New York. He's already, I think, withdrawn from I think 4 cases already in the Southern District of New York. All 22 he is going to have to withdraw, except for the one case that let him be admitted pro hoc VC. Tony Buzbee says he's backing out of the lawsuits, right? Again, he's doing the honorable thing. Now, Tony Buzbee does promise to be back. He says he is backing out of the lawsuit, and then he is going to apply for pro hoc VC. But the thing is, right, and this is why he's doing it the right way, by backing out the lawsuits cannot be dismissed, because as much as everybody got mad, it's like if the lawyer cannot practice, that case should be dismissed. And when the case is dismissed, you cannot bring it back up again because the statute of limitations has told. The Gender Motivated Violence Act closed on February 28th, 2025. So he says he's backing out of the cases. They'll stay with counsel, and then he's going to apply for pro hoc VC for each case. Again, pro hoc VC is not guaranteed. Tony Buzbee knows that. The cases that he is accepted pro hoc VC, he will join the cases again. The cases that are rejected, well, they still have lawyers to go through. They're saying the move comes after Diddy filed legal docs last month claiming Buzbee had no business filing lawsuits against him in Southern District of New York because Tony Buzbee isn't authorized to practice law in the famous district. Now Tony is acknowledging that in court docs. He made an errant judgment by failing to inform you that I was not admitted in the Southern District of New York. He says his admission status has become a distraction, true, and is shifting the focus away from Diddy's alleged victims, true. And as a result, he's stepping back. So basically, Tony Buzbee literally just said a press release and said the same thing I told not y'all, but the ignorant people in the back 3 weeks ago. Are y'all going to say that Tony Buzbee's paid off by Jay-Z? You going to say he's working with Jay-Z? You going to say he's sold out and now you don't trust him anymore? Are y'all going to sit there like little fans and just lap up anything that's given because you guys aren't actually, not y'all, but the people in the back just don't want to think critically? Anyway, right? Again, it's important to note that despite Buzbee being out the picture, the lawsuits against Diddy are proceeding. Buzbee says alleged victims will still be represented by New York law firms that had time to vet the claims and are moving forward. Buzbee's withdrawals from the case come after Diddy's attorneys opposed his motion to be admitted in one of Diddy's civil suits against Candace McRae. Meanwhile, Buzbee remains a representing attorney in a number of other lawsuits filed against Diddy in other states, and he's signaling new lawsuits will be filed against Diddy soon. I mean, what y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? I think it's a beautiful thing, and kudos to Buzbee for actually doing the right thing and putting the victims in front of all this. Like I said, this whole war between him and Jay-Z, it's getting out of control. I would argue that this was Jay-Z's point. I think there's something very, very disturbing going on where people that are billionaires are allowed to create sandstorms and that are allowed to create sandstorms and take focus off of what's really important. But that said, anybody that's honest has to admit that if you're a lawyer, if you know anything about legal, Tony Buzbee doing what he did with 22 cases in the Southern District of New York, it wasn't just sloppy. It was just like, what is going on? However, it seems like Buzbee has slowed down and now he's doing the right thing. So shout out to the victims. Shout out to the victims for getting justice. Diddy's day in court is coming. You guys know we will be filing the court case, looking at the court case on May the 12th. It will be 24-hour coverage. But let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about Tony Buzbee withdrawing from the Diddy cases? Keep in mind that doesn't mean the cases are not going forward. They are 100% going forward. Tony Buzbee just removed himself from the case because if he gets denied pro hoc VC while he's on the case, and there's a good chance he will be, while he's on the case, that could destroy the whole case and get it kicked out of court. So he's doing the right thing. What do y'all think about this? Does this change the way y'all feel about the Diddy cases in any way, shape, and form? Also, if you're wondering what's going on in the Jay-Z case, please go look at my other videos. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.